So I had some plans, and those plans didn't go through, and now I'm just a little bit sad, just a smidge, not too happy with how things have been going lately. And let's go kick some Grenier ass, because I got my daily, my first of the day. Cause how do I put this? I've been sick lately. I've been sick. I have to record videos again because I ran out of the blob footage that I recording. Like, I don't get YouTubers sometimes, man. Like, if you're doing, like, my kind of style, like, straightforward enough, you can easily mass-produce a couple of videos and just take a couple of days, like, forgot, I'm private, whatever, who cares? Who fucking cares? If I'm doing this alone, all by myself. But yeah, there's some people out there, I'm like, listen, man, your holiday is literally you just buckling down for a bit. Or I don't know. I don't like it when people do that and they make like super long videos. I'm like, listen, you could take a week break just doing 2 videos and making 8 out of them. Come on, man. Like, if you're someone like Chugga Conroy who puts like craftsmanship into his work, who like spends a large amount of time actually figuring things out, doing research and stuff. Yes, I can understand that making a simple gameplay video can actually take a lot of work. It's kind of different when you do my kind of style. You can just kind of just put your hand up your ass and it'll be fine. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I hope to get back to Dungeons & Dragons soon, because holy crap if I missed it. I'm not looking forward to freebooters, because I still think that system is like, It doesn't spark me. It doesn't make me go, ooh. I've slowly begun to realize that 5e is a system that I love as a GM, but I just can't get behind as a player, because it's so... Maybe it's just Mystic. Maybe it's just Mystic that makes it a problem, but...
Keep moving. None of the scanners have detected yet.
Also, they stopped the bouncing. Wait, they kept the bouncing in? What happened? Anyway, I completed Delta Rune, the survey.
You're on the sensors now. You've been detected.
Where's this motherfucker at? I'm sick. Throw me a fucking bone here, man. Oh, I guess it never deploys. That's why it doesn't like the... Yeah, I'm sick. I got the flu. In case you're wondering what's happening and what's happening. It's flu. It is number flu. And I kind of want to play something else. I actually recorded a good amount of footage of the Obra Dinn, and then that footage got corrupted because I recorded too much of it. I ran out of space, and Bandicam says, you know what? Because I couldn't keep track of it. Normally, I have this little box, but Obra Dinn doesn't let me do that because it's like full screen and stuff, and even on small screen doesn't fit well, or it becomes a resolution that I don't want to fucking put up with. So I end up in this really awkward situation of like, okay, I'll just and now I completed the game and like, you know, I could just play this game again with the knowledge I have. I like the twist because I kept pointing out, hey, there's a light source outside. He does explain what that light source is. That's neat. Where you at, mother cluckers? Where you at, baby beans? I felt worse yesterday. Yesterday was the day after my thing, and how do I put this? The reason it was exhausting as every fucking hell is I went to bed late. I not a victory lap. Don't think I was doing a victory lap. I'm more mature than that. What actually happened is like a freaking dingus. I decided I really... Okay, so here's just imagine. I have this day off. I'm like, oh god, finally I have a real day off. I don't have all these bullshit obligations that are existing in the background. I just have a legit kicking my boots up day off. And so... But that doesn't turn out to be the case because it's still gonna go to 18 fucking places! So at the end of that, I'm like, okay, Delta Rune is released. I have 2 options right now. Either I finish this right now and I'll get... Or I get spoiled to shit. And so I sat down and I stayed up all the way to midnight. And I'm a good boy who goes to bed at good times. By which I literally mean that I normally am already in bed by then. I usually go to bed before like 11. So that was a real kick in the shins. So I woke up and I was like, oh my god, I'm sick. I got it Tuesday when I was fucking around with a whole bunch of schlums at the community center. because it was raining, so they were like, hey, let's stay indoors and do some in-store stuff, and then it wasn't so bad, and I did some yard work. So, while I was moving entire fucking pallets by hand, which is no easy task, in case you don't know, wooden pallets weigh a fuck ton. Holy crap, those things were heavy. And I had to carry like multiple of them, and I had to walk past these rooms with people who were coughing in them. And I was already stressed out to all shit, so my immune system is like, yeah, I'm okay, I'm done. I'm gonna be sick now, okay. Just fell over, and I got sick. I was a little bit sick Wednesday, which was nice, because if I was truly sick then, that would have fucking sucked for a lot of shit I had to do. But no, Wednesday went fine, so at least there's that. But after Wednesday... Could you not, sir? I'm trying to tell this exciting story. So what happened though? Okay, so on Thursday it actually like kicks in, like the actual fucking disease incubation period complete. Time to get sick. God damn! I just realized I'm gonna have to start being careful around my dad, because my dad is getting older. He starts to enter the danger demographic of flu. He doesn't have a bad immune system, from what I know. I mean, he's a fucking doctor. He's probably hung around a lot of sick people, so the guy did fucking open heart surgery, for fuck's sake. I say that, and that's like it's like wow! I can't believe my dad actually got to move in a heart, take out a heart, and put a new one in. Goddamn, that's not something everyone's dad gets to do. And he told me, hey, you know how to do it? They put just so much fucking ice. They put so much fucking ice down that your body is just like, eh. I love it. I hope to do something that the people go, man, not that I'm going to be anyone's dad. I'm not going to be someone's dad. Unless no one else in the family has a kid, I'm going to be like, fine. You know what? All you slum it up, you millennials. I'll get a fucking kid. I won't have a kid. I'll adopt one because I'm not a fucking idiot. And I'll adopt one that's not a fucking baby. And I will teach it the norms and values of not eating shit. As all proper adults do. I don't think I have the patience for a kid, though. I just want to be the cool guy who just... You know, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Is that I'll have enough money that I can be the uncle that everyone's like, oh man, he's the guy with the money. And they're all nice to me because of that. Because that's the best I can hope for. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. So, could you not? I'm trying to tell my story. Anyway, so Thursday it actually incubated, which, to put it like this, a disease can sit in your body for a while and not do shit. I call that incubation, because it's like it's still trying to grow into its full form. Oh, that's neat. I got twins. Who are you? Oh, you're flamey. I'm very flamey. So, incubation happened, and then Thursday it actually decided to start fucking me up. I already had a headache, and I had some issues on Wednesday, but it was Thursday that it really kicked my shins in. So that was nice. I'm hoping this clears up as soon as possible, but
well done. Now get to extraction.
Who knows where I sit. Maybe I shouldn't hang out with... You know, the problem was that I'm usually outside, and that's fine. But being cooped up with a bunch of people with weaker immune systems who are likely to be riddled with shit is not a good way to spend your time when you're already stressed out and you're not feeling too hot. Like, I don't know. I'm glad I did him a good service because I helped clean up the yard a bit, move some shit around, clean up some stuff, snip some flowers, so to speak, snipping the weeds. Snipping the weed number. Oh, that kind of jazz. That's a nice number. Nice amount of credits. I spent a whole bunch of stuff on relics today, so I gotta earn my relics back. So I have ducats for next time. There's a hole in the ducat, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the ducat, dear Liza, dear Tom. See, yeah, Deltarune's nice. I like the battle music. I was gonna be like, it's a survey. Go to the survey, but I'm like, nah, I don't really care all that much. I want to do something simple. Exterminate mission. Just kick some infected ass. Oh, my stomach. My belly. So, let me just do the things. Wow. I think Return from the Kublai Khan actually takes up more. It takes up a lot of space because it's all pixel perfect garbage, so you can't do a lot of fun stuff with it. But the ring effect, I imagine, is very heavy on the pixels.
Your calculated survival probability
Exciting.
is encouraging. Good luck.
You know, I'm kind of at a moment where now, where if I were to die right now, I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. just say to St. Peter, hey, can you give this letter to someone who will read it? And I'm like, okay.
Multiple targets ahead.
I don't know why I'm saying okay when it's someone else I'm giving the letter to, but you get the point. You get the point. Don't fucking tell me that jackass Honolulu is gonna show up.
I'm still detecting a lot of infestation activity. Let's clean.
Oh, my head's starting to act up. I went outside to like get a bread, to get a mono bread, just one bread, so I had something to eat. To eat together with my yogurt, because just eating yogurt for dinner is the saddest fucking thing. Like, yes, it's healthy for me. I put in all these nuts and fibers, all this fruit stuff, but just eating yogurt is super sad and doesn't fill me for shit. So I'll just be like, I have to eat now. Which is the reason I eat dinner is so that I don't have hungry when I go to bed. I don't do dinner for any other reason than to stop myself from being hungry when I go to bed. And that might sound a little bit silly, but that's the way I look at dinner. Fucking sue me. Fucking come over here and fight me, boy. How's it again? I don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do this, man. I don't know how this game works. What the hell's the Blue Man Group doing? The other guy get fucked? Good. Good. It's not like you bunch of clowns did anything good. I kind of want to do Deltarune, but I also still need to finish Undertale, because in case you never saw my Undertale playthrough, which you probably haven't, because no one watches this shit anyway, but in case you have been around since then, you might have noticed that I stopped immediately when I reached the neutral ending, because I was like, I don't want to actually fight the difficult boss. That was my mentality at the time, but ever since, like, I don't actually want to fight Flowey and then start up, because apparently you don't have to do that section. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is, one, my navigational skills have clearly gone down the crapper. But the point I'm trying to make is I need to do that before I do Deltarune. Not because it's don't worry, there's no sequel. It's an AU. It is Toby Fox essentially doing an asset flip. I'd call it an asset flip, but holy crap, there's so many new assets. Calling it a flip would be rude. But you get the point. You get the point, right? You get the point. It would only be fair that I actually finish and do the pacifist ending, and then be like, man, you know, Deltarune does this a lot better. Like, I like the way the TP system works. It's like, if you're a sexy, daring motherfucker, you're gonna get cool rewards. It's cool beans and cool jeans, kids. Man, I feel like such garbage. I just wanna die. I log into that chat, and like 5 seconds in, everyone's like, hello, hello! And I'm like, oh my god, I set myself to do not disturb, and you're immediately just ignoring that? Is this what life has come to? Is people set themselves to do not disturb, and you're like, no, I don't care. I'm a special man. He's a special little baby. That's what he is. I don't like these new noises. They sound so real. I like the stupid little plonk noises. There's something comical about them, and I like how comical they were. Why am I still glowing? Wow, that shit lasts forever now, doesn't it? I guess it did spec for it, so yes, naturally it would last a little bit longer than usual. It just feels so weird. Yeah, I just wanted to make a little video. Well, I have to make videos. What am I talking about? I want to do one upload a day. I'll probably get back to the blob tomorrow if I feel better. Right now I'm feeling better, but I'm pretty sure I'm one of those people. I should keep tighter records on this, but I'm pretty sure I'm one of those fucking jackasses where they're sick, and they're like, ah, I'm no longer sick, and it's like, oh god! It's not over yet!
A juggernaut nearby. It will only
Oh my
attack
god,
when
are
it
you
senses
fucking
high
shitting me right now?
concentrations of
Whatever,
infested
go
blood.
eat some
Slowly
French
fight if you
toast.
want it.
I've also been on a text learning program on Duolingo learning French, although I know some basic French, so I got it in high school. I intend to learn Chinese, and that's been going better than it should be. I imagine I'm going to hit a brick fucking wall soon enough, but for now, it could be worse. There's a little statue on the ground. I also plan to learn German, Japanese, Spanish. the main reason is those are very fundamental languages that a lot of people speak.
Broken their ranks.
Apparently, just learning Chinese, if I just know some basic Chinese, it can get me like miles ahead in the fucking industry.
The juggernaut has moved on. It's time to proceed.
As you can imagine, someone who knows computers and also knows Chinese, I'm not going to move to China. To hell with that idea. Like, it has to be a pretty damn well-paying job to get me to move to China. Like, it has to be like a fucking six figures. And it's got to start with a number higher than 1. That's how you get me out. That's how you get me to move. Because fun fact, I don't know how to fucking survive in any country other than this. And the only reason I take that is because the first thing I do is be like, hey, can I take this other person with me to make sure I don't die? Because if I'm making 6 fucking figures, although in Juan, what is that Juan? Hey, if we're talking Juan, it better be 7 fucking figures. Although I imagine that the purchasing power of the one locally is a lot better. Oh, I know a couple of them, but my brain is too freaking weak. I know that Shu, I think it's Shu, is 10. I know that Ling is 0. What is it again? I think it's Yi R. I don't know why it's R and then it's an E and then it's an E. Wouldn't that be
Me too.
R, and then it's Sun. And then I think Ba is 8. Exciting numbers. Learn them bit by bit, kids. Maybe at some point I'll be like, I feel confident enough to put down, I could probably understand them. I could probably be like, hey, that's approximately what a sentence means. I already learned what I think it's Nine, which is Indu. Neat. It's fun stuff. Learning another language. Mostly because I'm bored to fucking shit and I love learning stuff. Now that I'm sick, it's a little harder to learn, but you get the point. I like learning things. I like putting things in my brain. I'm probably gonna, after that, at some point, like go to an actual school and be like, hey, can you teach me language? And then they'll stuff language in my head. And that's nice, that's neat. I like that. I like that a lot. And then they'll be like, hey, yes, here you are, a certified language. And I'll be like, woo!
All corpus threats.
I'm a certified language.
What an interesting
I'm so
premise.
sick, man. I'm just
I
fucked up.
appreciate you doing this task for me.
I'm gonna take my weight problem a little more seriously.
None of the scanners have
Also, I hate that they
detected
fucking fixed the hitbox because now those things are even more frustrating. The one saving grace of things stuck in walls was that you could hit them with a melee weapon. No, we don't want to fix that. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't fix this fucking shit. Listen, man. The more I learn about IT, the more I realize that you fuckers are just being lazy. Like, I don't care. Do a fucking polish run. Like, for real, just do a fucking polish run. Like, I understand that you're trying to constantly have new content, because that's what sells the fucking tickets nowadays. But, goddamn, man, there's a lot of, like, rough edges, and they're spiky as shit. Just take a fucking take a couple of months. Take a month. Like, you know, here's something. I think it's old school. Old school RuneScape has this thing, I think it's February, where they just do quality of life improvements. Where they just fix shit. That's not fun! Why don't you, Digital Entertainment Extreme, I think, whatever they're called. There's probably their logo somewhere if I look hard enough. Goddamn, I have friends online! What? Anyway. I imagine they could take a little bit of time and just do a fucking polish run. Do a quality of life run. Come on, man. I should know. It's not that hard. Unless you're constantly firing people because you're a shit company who everyone doesn't want to work with for a long period of time. Like, seriously. Some of these problems are just move an object. And depending on how fancy your fucking engine is, that's like a minimal thing to do, isn't it? Like, here's what I imagine. They must have a sophisticated enough engine that they can put together these components, these little sections at level. Efficient, right? So moving a couple of objects, like, out of the hitboxes of the terrain is like, come on. That should not be a monumental task. Like, what I imagine happens to those kinds of things is they get pushed on a list, and it's like this, it's the shitty baby list, you know? It's like, oh, this element doesn't work properly, like, 10% of the time. It just fucks everything up. And they're like, this is so low priority, it gets pushed to the bottom of the super ultra mega baby list. And they never get to that list. So there's just this super dusty, ancient list of relics of things they should really be fucking fixing that they never fix. Because it's so low on the rankings that it never comes up. Here's a fun thing. Here's a little programming hotspot for you. That's the thing that happens, and it fucks everything up. And this is why you don't make priority lists like that. You make priority based on how long something's been on the fucking list. And here's one reason you do that. It might have been fixed since then. You might have a ticket that doesn't exist anymore. Like, oh, well, we actually moved away from that, so those tickets are now invalid. Like, they probably have a dusty old list lying somewhere. Or, it's all, like, in some other fixed version over there. Like, there's a fixed version, they just don't want to roll it out yet. Because I can't imagine that they don't have, like, a period of time where, like, hey, let's just do some cleanup. Here's what I imagine, right? You're working on a straightforward project. You want to make sure that whatever you're making is either shippable or you can dump it in the fucking repository and be happy, go lucky, friendly, go time. Like, common courtesy says you don't put something in the repo if it's not clean. So I imagine that, you know, at some point you're like, okay, I can't do anything more because if I do anything more in this work period, I'm just gonna fuck everyone's shit up. So you have a clean, stable build and you smack it in there. During that time, you can't work on the big project anymore out of like fear of making an unclean build that you can't upload then. But you could just work on some minor bug fixes. I don't know. How does it split up? Like, it could be that they have extreme... Okay, so there's something else that could be going on. Now that I think about it, it's possible that they don't have like people that do general labor. And the benefit of people with general labor is that they can pick up a lot of slack.
They spotted you.
But I imagine that they have like level designers, and the thing is, they're level designers. They're not level cleanup agents. And whatever they have for QA is probably too busy with whatever the hell the next big project is. So the people who can fix it just never have time for it. And like I said, that leads to a dusty shit list that someone will have to fix at some point. When Como complains about this is why, Como. I think Como knows, though. I think Como knows, because he's been in the gaming industry more than I have. But I can tell you, this is what happens, is you get a shit list, and nothing happens because you don't have anyone who is the shit list cleaner. Get someone... Like, the reason you don't do that is for one reason. Okay. So let's say, the way you do lighting is, every lighting bit is pre-done per chunk. So every chunk has to be re-rendered lighting-wise when you decide to patch in this sexy new lighting update. Which means... you probably don't want to tamper too much with anything else. You want to make it as stable as possible, so you do one change at a time. So the little guy was like, hey, listen, I fixed all these item drop locations. They're all now in locations people can actually reach, so people don't have to be like, oh man, the rare drops in the wall again. I fixed it. It's like, well, we can't do that now because we have all the lighting runs that are going through right now. So there's never time for anyone to upload it or apply it because everyone else is like, hey, technically we're doing the real work here. But here's the thing, right? This is why you want to make sure someone's fucking doing your shit list. If you get too much shit, your pipes are gonna fucking clog up, you know. At some point, people are gonna be like, hey, you know. Like, here's the thing. Those people already paid. Like, that's the big twist reveal at the end of the fucking horror story. Is you've already paid. They don't need you. They need the newbies, the new fresh blood to squeeze out the lifeblood. So. Cleaning up the shit list just isn't a big deal. Is also a reason they're not doing it. Is because that's not where the money is. Like, I don't care if you have a fancy accountant firm who's like, we know where the money is. If you're just a developer and your business model works like that, you know where your money is. And it's not with the people who want you to work on your fucking shit list. Now, old school RuneScape is built on A, people who actually want to work on the fucking project, and B, is usually run by people who are really fucking invested. If you want new people to come to old school, they need to be convinced, because that's a classic product with not a lot of appeal. It's going to be word of mouth. It's going to be YouTube videos. And if those people are taking big shits on your shit list, it doesn't happen. So old school RuneScape gets this dedicated month, because they have to, because if they fucking don't, they're going to lose out. People are going to be like, yeah, we're done. We're going to go to those third-party servers over there. Man, I just remember that shit. Like those fake versions of RuneScape, and I was like, I played like a little bit of them, and I was like, why would you do this? Like, yes, your strength is now 200, but the whole system is like fucking dumb. Why bother? But yeah, there's a whole slew of reasons why someone's shit list never gets fixed up. And yes, you should call it a shit list, because if anyone says it's anything else, they're fucking assholes who don't know how that works. They're not fun bugs. They're not interesting. No one gives a shit. That's why it's called a shit list. They're shitty, tiny, easily fixed problems, but they're dirty work. They don't look nice on your resume. What looks better on your resume? I helped implement a new lighting engine, and I helped do all the runs. Or I moved some items so that it looks good. It's not exciting work, too. It's like something you get bored of really fast. But listen, if I was actually sitting around working on a project, and I have to do all this big work, I take up a bunch of little tickets. You wanna know why? I pick up those little tickets because I'm fucking bored. When I work on big projects, I work in big chunks. Like my brain does big thinking in big chunks. So when I work, it's these big bite-sized chunks. So the result is that I need to do something in between. Now, when I'm sitting at home and I'm just goofing around, that usually is like small articles or little videos. It's something that I can do in the meantime. But if I had like little bugs I could fix that are easy, it makes me go, "Ah, cool! I fixed a bug. I finished the ticket." It's very motivating to work on a shit list. You want to know why? So there's a bunch of people who are like, "Hey, if you're not feeling, let's just take a fucking seat so I can take my fan's controller." So there's a school of thought which is just do anything and you'll eventually get done. The school of doing anything comes down to the fact that humans work well in momentum. So the trick is to build momentum, which is doing stuff in the first place. Now, if you're working on a big problem for a long while, you're going to get demotivated because you're doing a lot of work, but nothing gets done. And in programming, you could slam your wall in the head on the same problem for hours. Having a shit list item that you can work on is nice, because then you can say, you know what, I'm going to take away from this. You want to know why that works so well? Is because if you do little things, or you just take your mind off of something, you can think from it from a new angle. It helps refresh the mind and take off the fatigue. Like if you try to push at something too long, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore, my arms are tired. And do something with your legs for a little bit. You can stretch a different muscle, and then you're like, hey, my legs feel a little bit more up for it. Now maybe I'll use my legs in this. Like, that's why you should work on your shit list, kids. If only because people love to complain about that kind of shit. I wonder how they did this. I imagine that they built like they have to build something to make this work, right? Okay, so there's a few ways you could possibly do this. They could have built a skybox-like box, which forces the skybox to be visible. Like there's a physical exterior wall that forces the existence of the skybox, so we can't see anything beyond that because of that. So it's basically a diorama. 2, the actual texture itself, the actual window itself, is just a window into the skybox. So it doesn't project anything. Like if my model were to clip through this, which I guess it does, so that's not what they did. Yeah, that's clearly not how they did this. Is it? Yeah, that's not how they did this. Or it could just be... No. Could I... What if I switch cameras? Yeah, so they're clearly doing something to make them disappear. It could just be that they unload anything within a certain radius so that when you're actually in the room, like when you enter the room... No, because you can't see the window from the other side. You can just not have the aquarium there. It's kind of curious that they add another window. You should clearly be able to see this place. Like, they clearly do something to unload it or to fix it. Also, the fact you can look outside, this is funny. Wait, what the hell? What's over there? Oh my god, are those... Oh my god, that's so dumb. Why did you do it like that? Why did you do that? In case you're wondering what we're looking at, I think those are just the models protruding. Those are not actual exterior objects. Those are just models protruding. That's hilarious. I'm having a great time. That being said, again, there's a lot of reasons why shit lists don't get worked out. So here's the thing, right? It's entirely plausible that programmers get to do shit list items very easily because all they do is they work on the code. And the code is just this one homogeneous mass. But when you're a map designer or a level designer or just someone who makes and puts together little tidbits, like who puts the toys together, you probably are working more on new content than you'll ever get to work on old stuff. And besides that, odds are that your ticket system is different. Like, the way you organize things is different. Maybe they just don't put those things there. We put these on ice because we don't care. We have to work on big projects. And it's not until they finish a big project that they have time to start working on the shit list. But again, you're going to have to placate your hardcore fans at some point. You're gonna. You can't just evade that forever. And you want to know how you placate the hardcore fan to better? It's not a fucking nerving patch where you finally after hundreds of millions of years, after millions and billions of years, we've decided to fix Diva's ult, where it has this infinite fucking cylinder that's literally not supposed to work that way. It's supposed to be a fucking sphere, you dipshits. I like to imagine the reason that bug exists is it's really simple. When they set the explosion hitbox, the hitbox is determined is a cylinder. The first value is the radius of the cylinder, and the second is the actual cylinder's... Oh, that's so dumb. Why did that door open?
New alert mark.
Why is that already open? Is it because I'm looking at it? No, it's just that door feels very special today. I think it's because it already loaded the assets in, so it keeps it in loaded. So as a result, whenever I go near it, it's like, okay, you want to open this one? No, that's just how the door works. Okay. But yeah. What was I talking about again? Ah, my brain is so addled. My brain is so addled, I'm just jibber-jabbering now. Talking about shit lists. Yeah, but yeah, the way I think Divas works is that it's just a cylinder definition. But if you don't define the height of the cylinder, it just makes an infinitely tall cylinder. So that's I imagine that's how that bug works, because it's the only logical explanation why you'd have an infinite fucking height cylinder like a dipshit that somehow also ignores walls and shit. From what I heard, I don't know, but which is a simple mistake to make, I guess. If you use autocomplete like an idiot, yeah, you're probably going to make that mistake. Don't use autocomplete like that, kids. That's not what autocomplete is for. It's not there to do your job for you. It's to make your life easier. Like, don't just say, oh, the first one's the right one. Probably ain't. Actually, usually it is, somehow. But yes, like, as I imagine, like, they probably don't have time for this. And they can't do it. They have to work on the big projects and they have to make big content. But like I said, you can't make a patch. You can't make a patch that's just these tiny little things. Like at some point, someone's going to be like, hey, listen. Oh, cool. Oh, that's so cool. I love it when they don't fucking make the culling angles properly. Why did you do that, video game? That's a really conspicuous angle. And yes, that... Oh, that's because the room door is open. Oh my god, that's so fucking weird. So from here, it's like... Okay. Okay, we're not going to ask questions. Ooh. Oh, that's not even loaded in as a door. Yeah, that's a very clear, like, cutting angle, and it's not registering. So that's not even a door right now. That is just an object. Well, it is an object, always. I mean, otherwise you can just remove it from the scenery, but... I imagine there's something on. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could just be because technology is different. But yeah, at some point you're going to have to fix that shit. Because people are going to ask questions like, okay, you're making new content, but the old content still fucking sucks. And then you get the Yu-Gi-Oh problem, right? Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, they keep making stronger and bigger and badder cards. And like everyone's like, hey, we just want to play the old game. It's like, no, you got to play with a new game. You got to play with the new stupid overpowered cards. And everyone gets really pissy about that. And then they go to Magic, and they're like, man, these vintage cards used to be better. Woo. Woo. I'm just bitching. I know nothing about game development. If I did, I'd probably have a slightly more concrete answer. But it'd also be under some dipshit's NDA that for some reason lasts until afterwards. And it's like, why? Why are you like this? I went to several software companies who didn't make me sign NDAs, and I was working with their flagship fucking software. Why are you doing this, video games? Are you afraid that people will find out you're hack frauds? Because I know you are. You can't hide the secret from me. I know that video games are just kept together by bits of string, and good luck. And it's because you're all a bunch of fucking morons. Because if Drawd and Undertale and a bunch of other and Nintendo games have taught me, you're all just a bunch of fucking hack frauds. And that's all you'll ever be. Because you're not willing to do what it takes to fix the fucking things that are like 12 years old. That's why you have a priority queue that increases over time. That's why you have the little thing in some programs where if you leave the ticket up too long, it's like, hey, this ticket's fucking disgusting. Fix it! I don't know, man. I just like to complain, and I'm sick, so I'm just saying bullshit. Why don't they line up? Why don't they line up? It's weird how some things vanish and other things don't. It's weird how it's the door specifically. It might just be the doors that are improperly... Oh, I think I know why that is. I think I know exactly why that is. I think I just figured this mystery out. Like a fucking mystery mobile. So, the doors have a limited hitbox, right? So, what I think happens is... No, that can't be it, because I'm pretty sure I can fit through here. Yeah. I thought for a minute that it's because the doors don't have like, solid hitboxes here. It would be because the door doesn't, like... No, it's just because someone didn't do his fucking job. That's someone not doing their job. Nothing else. Like, I can understand that happens, but it... Like, this is why people do early access and beta testing. It's because in production, you don't give a shit. In production, you just walk by that shit. But this is not some one-and-done release game. This is a fucking MMO. You are being continuously paid by your customers. Give your customers what they want. I don't know what their payment model is. Oh my god, there's our loose tubes. I want to decouple the camera. Someone give me a fucking hack to decouple the camera. I want to see what's going on out there.